Now we go back to Capitol Hill. Top leaders of social media giants Facebook and Twitter appeared before Senate and House committees today. As Nick Schifrin reports, they appeared amid ongoing concerns over their ability to police their platforms and questions of whether they should be regulated.
In front of the Senate committee investigating Russia's offensive tactics during U.S. elections, the world's largest social media companies said they'd improve their defenses.
When content violates our policies, we will take it down. And when our opponents use new techniques, we will share them so we can strengthen our collective efforts.
We're identifying and challenging 8 to 10 million suspicious accounts every week. And we're thwarting over 500,000 accounts from logging in to Twitter every single day.
Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey and Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg lead internet giants trying to act proactively to remove fake content. Recently, Facebook removed 652 pages, groups, and accounts, posing as news organizations, but really fronts for Iran. They peddled fake photos of Michelle Obama, fake tweets about Bernie Sanders, and fake movie posters, discovered thanks to collaboration with law enforcement and private security companies.
In our mind, that's the system working. Our opponents are very well funded, they are very organized, and we are going to get those tips from law enforcement, from each other, from private firms. And the faster we can collaborate, the faster we share those tips with each other, the stronger our collective defenses will be.
But Twitter was criticized for not sharing more information with victims of Russian campaigns aimed at lawmakers critical of Russia, including Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins.
I learned not from Twitter, but from Clemson University, that I was one of those targeted leaders and that there were 279 Russian-generated tweets that targeted me. It seems to me that once you determine that, you should notify the people who are the targets.
I agree, it's unacceptable. And we recognize we need to communicate more directly where people are on our service. And we also recognize that we're not going to be able to catch everything alone. So we need to develop better partnerships in order to do that.
Independent analysts say the companies are working better together. But some lawmakers believe that's not enough, and the companies need to be regulated. Virginia Democrat Senator Mark Warner.
But the size and reach of your platforms demand that we as policymakers do our job to ensure proper oversight, transparency, and protection for American users and our democratic institutions. The era of the Wild West in social media is coming to an end.
On the issue of regulation, Sandberg hedged.
You know, we don't think it's a question of whether regulation. We think it's a question of the right regulation that supports users, is transparent, and doesn't squash innovation. And we're happy to work with you on the proposal.
Lawmakers asked about fake accounts known as bots that Russia and other online actors use to amplify fake ideas. Dorsey said Twitter was open to labeling those bots, but it wasn't easy. Meanwhile, many senators focused on who wasn't there in the empty chair left for Google after it declined to send either its president or CEO.
Perhaps Google didn't send a senior executive today because they've recently taken actions such as terminating cooperation they had with the American military on programs like artificial intelligence.
I would have thought that leadership at Google would have wanted to demonstrate how seriously it takes these challenges.
But the hearing was practically sedate compared to what happened outside.
I'm here to discuss the reality that there is an attempted purge of the First Amendment taking place in this country.
Alex Jones is a widely watched media personality and provocateur who specializes in conspiracy theories.
Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors, in my view, manufactured.
He once claimed the Sandy Hook school shooting was a government hoax to increase gun control laws. In July, Facebook, Apple, and Google's YouTube banned Jones.
It's happening to everybody now who's a libertarian or conservative. The dominoes are falling. The First Amendment's being destroyed.
A few minutes later, Jones interrupted an interview by Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio, the snake.
This is
frat boy here.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Who are you, man?
Yeah,
Who's this guy? I swear to God, I don't know who you are, man.
You better hope you can deplatform me. Tens of millions of views.
InfoWars.
Bigger than Rush Limbaugh. He knows who InfoWars is. He's playing this joke over here. That's why the deplatforming didn't work.
But here's the question. Here's a question.
Don't touch me again, man. I'm asking you not to touch me.
Well, sure, I just patted you nicely.
I know, but I don't want to be. I don't know
you,
man.
man.
I don't know who you are.
It's not just good.
You're not going to get arrested, man. You're not going to get arrested. I'll take care of it myself.
The issue of whether social media censors conservatives dominated an afternoon House hearing and questions by Texas Republican Joe Barton.
Do you discriminate more on philosophy, like anti-conservative versus pro-liberal?
No. Our policies and our algorithms don't take into consideration any affiliation, philosophy, or viewpoint.
That's hard to stomach.
I believe that we have found impartial outcomes, and those are what we intend to fix and continue to measure.
Dorsey admitted Twitter unfairly filtered 600,000 accounts, including Democrat and Republican lawmakers, Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise.
Our colleague, Marsha Blackburn, when she announced her campaign for the Senate, Twitter quickly banned her announcement advertisement because it had a pro-life message.
Dorsey admitted that decision was a mistake, but New Jersey Democrat Frank Pallone dismissed the entire line of questioning.
President Trump and many Republicans have peddled conspiracy theories about Twitter and other social media platforms to whip up their base and fundraise. I fear the Republicans are using this hearing for those purposes.
But today, Attorney General Jeff Sessions doubled down and says he'll gather state attorneys general to discuss whether social media companies stifle conservatives. The debate isn't over. At a time when social media companies are on the front line protecting democracy, as one senator put it today, what these companies decide has the capacity to win wars without firing a shot. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Nick Schifrin.